Man, I miss hearing that music. What is going on? It is the Smash Bros. Cast. I'm N64 Josh Crawler. What's up, dude?
Hey, how's it going? Crawler coming at you.
We got some special guests, King Raymar. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Is it still King or just Raymar?
Whatever you prefer. Doesn't matter.
You'll always be my king. And we got Magic Mike. What's going on, baby?
Yo, not much. How you guys doing?
So good, so good. Well, this is going to be a fun show. We're going to learn all about what it was like at Big House while both these guys dominated, which I'm really excited to hear about. I mean, there was some dominating that happened, right? Right?
Sure, some.
Yeah, see? There you go. There you go. There you go. And but we have something very special to announce. We now have a premium Discord that is going to host our monthly tournaments, and it's $9.99 a month. So if you go to n64josh.com/smashcord, and there's a link in the description. There's going to be a link in the show notes if you're listening to the audio version. What this is going to do, this is going to help fund the prize pool, okay? Instead of it just coming out of my pocket every month. It's also going to be private. If you're not in the Discord, you don't get to be a part of the tournament. Now, I don't want that to sound like I'm excluding anybody, but what was happening is the last 4 months of the tournament, I paid all of the prize money to Wi-Fi warriors that were not even part of our community. And that hurt me a little bit because I want everybody that's been a part of this thing for a very long time to be the ones that reap the rewards. So,
and there was some unnecessary shit talking and other stuff that took place in just in the regular Discord when people would flood with people and then
mass exodus.
Yeah,
exactly. And so this is what we're going to do moving forward. So if you want to sign up, again, it's $9.99 a month. Consider it your online local, and it's going to change and evolve, and we're going to be taking feedback as best as we, as best we can. And it'll still be run through start.gg, but it'll be a private link. You won't be able to, your Discord name in the server will have to match your name in start.gg. Otherwise we'll just DQ people because we want to make sure that it that is exclusive to members. So
is that what Xbox calls it now?
Yeah, it's start.gg. They changed the name after they purchased it. So pretty excited about that. We'll see how it goes. It's going to be a little slow at first, and I may have to I'm just going to market this really, really well. But if you guys are in Smash communities and you think people would benefit from it, like basically the idea here is we're going to have a Discord that is exclusively for serious Smash players. Like, so if you want to find people to practice with, this is going to be the place to do it. And then once a month, you're going to be able to compete against these players. And as it grows, we want it to evolve to where, like, let's say we get 200 people in the Discord. Well, we're going to probably do 2 or maybe 3 different tournaments. So that way first place isn't always going to the same couple of people, but it can open the opportunities for everybody to earn it, to potentially earn a chance to at least get their monthly subscription back. So, again, it's a place to grow, improve, and really to have an unlimited supply of friendly matches as we grow. So we need your help to spread the word. I'm going to be marketing. We're going to start a new TikTok just for the Smash Bros. Cast, maybe even a YouTube channel. And we're going to be focusing specifically on just Smash Bros. Content and kind of separating it away from the N64 Josh Discord and stuff like that. So that'll still be there. You'll still be able to tag friendlies if you want, but we are moving this in a kind of a fun new direction, and I'm really looking forward to it. If you can find, again, it's n64josh.com/smashcord, and there will be a link in all of my socials in my bio on all my socials, probably by the time this goes live, if not very soon after. So that is that. Let's start talking about how we've been doing in Smash. Crawler, it's been a minute. How you been doing in Smash?
The B-roll that you're seeing, if you're watching, is reflective of how I am doing, and it's not great, especially against Josh's Pyramithra. I think it's just because I've just not. I was shaking off a lot of dust probably, and I don't know. I gotta get. I need to definitely get back in a little bit more and play. But it was fun shaking it back up and playing some matches. We screwed around a little bit more at the end of this B-roll, and you dittoed with Corrin and learned some stuff. I think you were asking questions about how to do different moves and
more like learn my place.
and then we screwed around with some of our like random pocket characters, and that was fun. But I think the matchup against you with Corrin is, I still haven't learned how to move in on Pyramithra.
You will. Yeah. I remember when I first started playing with them, you had started taking matches off of me, so I don't think it'll be. I think it would be another night or two, and we would be back to our normal hijinks. If that's my gut feeling. So, I've been playing a little bit. I've been playing a little bit of Halo, and then a little bit of Smash, and then of course streaming Mario Kart and trying to keep up with some of these newer games that are out too. But did a little bit of Modern Warfare, which has been fun. But I played against an Incineroar last night, and I'll be transparent. The first two matches were very close, but I didn't win. They were extremely close. I had the worst miss input to like finish the match out, and it made me very sad because I really thought I was going to take it. But I came back after the second match and I 3-stocked this poor cat, and it was not good for him. The cape turned him around, which was I could tell you guys know when somebody takes a breath before like when they come back in on their second stock or their third stock, right? Like you guys know what I'm talking about, where there's they just kind of wait there a second. Yeah. The cape turned him around, which was incredibly frustrating for him. And then they tried to come out. They tried to come out and get me after I did a high return, and I bounced him right off the edge of the stage with the dunk, and it made me very, very happy. So, and then I think they ended up finishing off their third stock just with a miss input because I think I was living rent free in their head at that point. And so, yeah, it was a really, really fun, really fun match when winning that way. But it's just so interesting. I still every match I'm picking apart what I'm doing. Like one of the things for sure that I'm like, this has to stop is the dash attack. It's just so easy to counter it, and it's not something I see. Like there are times for it, don't get me wrong, but for the most part, I would find myself doing it in situations that end up getting me punished. And so it's been like I did a ditto with another Mario last night online, and I beat him every time, but I watched a few different I was watching what he was doing so well that I was like, I really liked his approach with the nair to then a grab. I was like, well, that's not something I'm doing very often, and it would be very, a very useful tool in my arsenal. So always learning new things, always looking for new ways to improve and get better at the game. And so we're gonna keep on keeping on here with the Smash Bros cast, especially with this new server starting. And I know the hype for the game is kind of is all but dead, but what is there, some 30 million people almost that own this game? So I figure we can probably tap into a small percentage that want to learn to take things to the next level. And who knows? I know there's I don't know if you guys have seen Tekken 8 and Street Fighter 6 coming out. Like there may be some more fighting games in the near future that we look into as well, because those games are both looking incredible. So Raymar, let's start with you. How are things going with Smash, and then we can get into how things went at Big House too.
Yeah, I mean things are going good. Like obviously we're gonna get to Big House here shortly. But it's kind of funny since Big House, which is about a month ago, I have really only played Smash once. I've kind of like taken a short break from it. Um, and I went to one local actually in Windsor last week. Mike, the local that Mike goes to. So that's really the only time I've played since Big House. And I kind of played a lot leading up to it, and then it was a full weekend of playing a bunch of Smash. So I just like, oh, I'm just gonna take a little bit of a break from it. Um, but yeah, things are going good. I feel like Mike's kind of almost had a different approach, like the opposite approach of me. So I'll let him jump in if he wants to talk about how things are going with him.
Yeah, pretty well, I guess. I actually decided after Big House, I was like, I made out initial pools, and I was like, what if I actually like practice some actual like link things that like I never actually put in work for before, and actually learn how to do a couple of things. So I did, and it's been working out pretty well. Placed, it was I think top three. I placed third 2 weeks ago and second at my local, I want to say, afterwards. So yeah, it's kind of reinvigorated me a little bit in Smash going to Big House.
The smile on my face right now, listening to you say that, like that that is super super cool. Why don't you keep us going, Mike? Let's talk about Big House and what helped reinvigorate that passion for Smash.
Well, I mean, I went into the Big House thinking, I'm going to drown in the initial pools. I'm just going for the experience, blah blah blah. But I actually made it out of initial pools. I mean, I lost the next game right after, so don't get me wrong. It's not like I want to tear.
Hey,
But
getting
the
out of
fact
pools,
that,
half the people don't get out of pools.
like, oh, exactly right. So I made it out on loser side, and I was like, I made it out on loser side, just with my base, never practice, just play for fun. And I was like, what could I do if I like actually like practice, So that's kind of what invigorated me. I wanted to see what I could actually do with myself with Smash. So yeah, it was really really fun experience. Got to play a lot of people who like the games I did lose, I got destroyed in. But I had my first round, I won pretty comfortably. And then my last round to make it out of pools was a nail biter. That was like a last hit for like every single game. It went 2-1, and every single game was like a last hit scenario. So um, yeah, it was great. Got to play with a lot of people from different places, like Houston and stuff. So it's cool, really cool experience.
What were some of the
I'll let Raymar
matches?
talk about doubles.
What were some of the matches that you did? Like who did you run over no problem, and what character was giving you problems?
So I don't remember the names of the people, unfortunately, but
That's all good.
I beat the fox was a comfortable win, and then I got whooped by a wolf, and then I made out of pools against a Lucario. That was the nail biter game. That was the one where it went either way. And then out of pools, I got whooped by a Greninja, who afterwards told me that he plays against a top in-state player who means Link. So I was like, oh, that's good. So he had lots of Link experience against a better Link. This kind of didn't help me at all. And I don't have a lot of Greninja experience, so I was like, okay, this is great. But yeah, it was still a good experience. Nice guy still. So yeah, it was a lot of fun, man.
That's cool. How about when Crawler and I were at Genesis, one of the things that was probably the most fun was after the event was over and everybody's just doing like the day would end and then everybody would just be playing, doing friendlies matches and wagers and things like that. Did you guys get to experience that?
I didn't partake in very many friendlies. I played a Steve who whooped me. And then otherwise we actually just played in other games. I'll let Raymar talk about that aspect because I know he's very excited about Mario Tennis. So
all right, Raymar, let's hear from you. How was Big House for you? What were some of the highlights?
Yeah. So I mean, we could start with Friday. So Friday was doubles. Me and Mike did team up to do doubles together. And I know we were both really looking forward to that because we had done a couple doubles tournaments in Windsor prior to Big House. We did pretty well. We got one of them we won first. I think we got second in the other two. So, and we were kind of working together, try to like get some team synergy as a doubles team. Because I think doubles is really interesting in Smash because teams with worse players in a one-on-one aspect can beat like top level players because they're just so good working together. And I think that's something me and Mike both like about doubles is just like having like really good teamwork can kind of trump better players sometimes. Um, so yeah, Friday was doubles. We won our first set, I think 2-1. It was best of three. The team was pretty good, but we won that one. And then we were playing a team in round two that we were not seeded to beat. I think they had a guy who was seeded very high for one-on-one, and we lost to them 0-2. But both the games were really close. I remember like walking away from that one feeling kind of good, even though we lost because, like I said, this team was seated higher than us, and I thought we could have beat them. So then round three, we we lost in round three. We went 1-2, but it was weird because game one, the other team only took one stock off of us, so we had 5 stocks left. So at that point, I'm kind of thinking, all right, we got this in the bag, right? Like we dominated them. But then we lost games 2 and 3, and that was very disappointing because we went 1-2. We didn't make it out of pools, and it's like at that point it's like 1 p.m. on Friday, and I'm like, what the hell are we gonna do now? Like I didn't expect we'd be knocked out this early. Like this sucks. Like I was legitimately disappointed at that, and I don't know, Mike, what your perspective was on that, but that's
I was pretty upset.
yeah, that was rough.
A little crestfallen.
But what's funny is they had a couple stations for like retro games and tournaments. They had a double dash setup where there was 4 TVs and 4 GameCubes all linked up, so you could get 16 people playing double dash. And they had, yeah, it was really cool. And then they had for Mario Tennis for N64, 4 station setup for that, and they were running tournaments. And we just happened to walk by that area, and Mike was like, "Oh, we should do Mario Tennis," and I was like, "Oh, okay."
Was that on 64 or was that on Switch online?
It was on 64, yeah, and it was doubles, and so we sat down and we're like practicing against the CPU, like 2-on-2, and did that for about 15-20 minutes, half hour, because like I said, we had time to kill because we got knocked out of doubles so early. So the Mario Tennis doubles tournament starts, and we just ran through it and got first place because Mike is amazing at that game for some reason. And I was just kind of along for the ride, trying not to make mistakes. So that was just really fun because it kind of like redeemed Friday for me. I was like, all right, we sucked in doubles and Smash, but for some reason we won a Mario Tennis tournament at Big House. So
I mean, that's the fun of those big events is they have those like side things going on. Did they have like a Splatoon tournament going as well or anything else?
Yeah, Splatoon 3 was actually one of the like official tournaments for the event. Yeah. So yeah, that was great. Like, I don't know. I did not expect to be playing Mario Tennis, but I have a gold medal right over in this room.
Hey, we've 2 gold medals.
Yeah, actually, okay, since we're on the Mario Tennis topic, they did another one on Saturday.
I love it.
And we did it again, and we got first place again. So yeah, I don't know. We didn't drop a single set either. So we're dominant. We're just switching over to Mario Tennis and dropping Smash.
Okay, we're gonna start the premium Mario Tennis Discord.
$20 a month.
$20 a month. Plus, you have to have the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack.
Yeah. But yeah, that was, like I said, it was just fun because it kind of just redeemed that day, at least for me. We also did the Double Dash tournament, and that did not go so well because that it's Mario Kart, and sometimes it's just a lot of BS and luck. But that's okay.
Mario Kart.
No, never. No, of course not.
I think almost every game so Raymar was our driver, and I think almost every game we were in the lead for like the whole race. And then at the finish line, we got blue shelled, and then we get like 6th.
That's Mario Kart for you.
Welcome to Mario Kart.
And I had never played Double Dash in that format where you're playing with 16 other real people. So it's each TV had 2 teams of 2 because you can have. That's why it was 8 carts, but each cart is 2 people. Yeah. And just the item chaos is so much worse when you're playing with all real people rather than CPU, and was not ready for that.
So I know
7.6 by IGN.com, right?
7.9, yeah.
7.9.
Shout out to Fran. We were hanging out at TwitchCon. So I've never played that like LAN party style with Mario Kart. So Raymar, you were driving, and Mike, what do you do?
I was just hanging out for dear life.
He's just following orders.
You play your character, right? If you switch, do you take over driving or no?
You can switch. Yeah, you can hit Z. If you both hit Z, I think the characters switch spots. But so Mike was just manning the weapons, and so like he gets a green shell, a red shell, and so he just has to hit a button to use the item. But he also actually kind of controls the drifting. So like if I'm holding R around a turn, he has to wiggle the left stick back and forth to get the drift.
Get the turbo boost.
Yeah, like he's the one in control of that.
Got it. Okay.
That's pretty intense.
Yeah, and I'm like tossing him mushrooms. I'm like, all right, now, because like you want him to use it at a good time when you're on like a straightaway or something. But yeah, Double Dash is awesome. It just the item
that sounds like we really need this in Mario Kart 9. Like not the whole game, but like that.
Yeah,
that needs to be there. So
it would be fun for them to bring that back, honestly.
Yeah, I think especially if they actually figured out how to do online, but
yeah.
Let's not hold our breath.
Yeah, let's not. let's not. So,
but I can bring it back to Smash if you want.
Yeah, for sure.
Went off on a whole tangent there. But yeah, like you mentioned, like did we have any chance to do like friendlies and like how when you guys went to Genesis, like you did a lot of stuff after the event, and well, Mike, like he lives in Canada, but very close to the border, but he ended up just staying over at my house in Michigan since we are going to go back to the event on Saturday anyways. And so like we did a lot of friendlies Friday night, and that was pretty fun because we just did I think we just did a lot of like squad strike, didn't we? Like 5-on-5 squad strike.
Yeah, and that was where I figured out Mike was my worst character.
That's kind of the biggest tragedy of this game is that squad strike isn't available online.
Yeah, squad strike's great. It would be nice to have that option online.
I agree.
But yeah, I mean that was a lot of fun because like we do play, like we have played against each other a lot, but it's been a lot online. So like just having a chance to just sit down and play a bunch of matches in a row is fun.
That's so rad. Let's and your Mike kind of gave us the rundown for himself, like some of the characters you had to play against.
Right. Okay. So Saturday was singles. I think it was kind of a bummer that both of our pools happened at the same time because like I was kind of hoping to watch some of his matches, but I didn't get to see any really. But I knew who my first opponent was going to be. It was a Joker player in Michigan, and so there's a website called PG Stats where you can like look up other players and it'll show you like their win rate, like what characters they use and things like that. And so like I said, I knew he played Joker. And I saw that he was 0-7 against K-Rool. And I'm like, oh, well, this is good. Like, he's bad against K-Rool. But what I found out, kind of similar to what Mike said, was he's in the region of the best K-Rool player in Michigan. It's not me, unfortunately. So even though he hasn't beat the character, he has very good experience against him. So I lost my first round. So dropped to losers. That was 0-2, but both the games were pretty close. Like, I could have maybe stolen, but I didn't. My next 2 sets were kind of weird because they were against players that were pretty low level. I double 3 stocked the first guy or the second opponent, and he was, I think, playing Joker again actually. And then round 3 was a Fox player, and I 3 stocked him in game 1, and then in game 2 I knew that my next opponent was probably going to be a Fox player that I was not seeded to beat, and that was to get out of pools. And I really don't like the K-Roll matchup against Fox just because of how much he can combo you and just pressure you like crazy. And so I'm like, all right, I'm going to warm up, another character against this Fox player just in case I need him for the next round. So I used Game & Watch, and it went fine, but I could just tell, like, you know what, even though this is a better matchup, I'm just so much better with K-Roll that it's not worth it to use Game & Watch the next round. So yeah, I guess it'd be round 4. And like I said, this was to get out of pools on loser side. And Mike, actually, I think you saw this whole set, if I remember right.
Against the Fox?
Yeah.
I saw the end of it. I think I saw the last.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I saw the last 2 games. I think.
Okay.
I saw 2 games. Yeah, I saw 2 games.
Yeah, so I was not seeded to beat this guy. Like, he was the one that was seeded to get out of pools. I guess he's from Michigan as well. I'd never played him before. He beat me game 1, and then game 2 I won. And so then it's down to game 3. Winner advances, losers out of the tournament. And it was really close, really back and forth. And we reached down to our last stock. I want to say I was at like 130%, something like that. He's at around 70. And so, obviously if I get hit by like a Fox up smash or something, which is what he's probably looking for, I'm dead. But I landed like a weak hit of K-Roll's neutral air, which sent him off the stage because we were on the edge of the stage. And I just immediately ran off and down aired, and I landed it. So I spiked him. And it was just like such a great way to win the set and advance out of pools. Like, I didn't really pop off, but I just gave like a little fist pump.
That's a nice exclamation point though, to get the spike like that.
Yeah. And Mike and another guy from Windsor were right behind me watching. So it was just like, I don't know. That was definitely like the highlight, other than winning Mario Tennis. Was that way to
go to a Smash tournament, and the highlight is winning a Mario Tennis tournament. From 25 years ago.
Yeah, but I feel like I'm rambling a little bit, but just a point about like the way that set ended. I think I talked to Mike about this before, about how when you're in a tournament, sometimes, at least for me, I tend to play more conservatively than like when I'm doing friendlies. And in some ways that's a good thing, but I think in some ways it's bad, because then like those crazy plays you make in friendly, sometimes you don't get any of those in a tournament because you're playing conservative. And it's more like you're playing not to lose rather than playing to win. And when we talked about it afterwards, we were like, that play that I made right there, like that was a play to win the game. Like, it wasn't like I'm not going to stay on stage and just try to ledge trap. It's like, no, I'm going off stage to end the game right now. So it was kind of a cool, like, that is something we had talked about before, and just seeing it happen.
That's a fantastic takeaway, honestly. Like, because the outcome of that match may have turned out different if you had not.
Absolutely.
Gone for the win. Right.
Because like I said, he was only at like 70, right? Which, I mean, Fox is really light. K-Roll's a lot of kill power, so I could kill him at that percent, another way. But just, I hadn't done anything like that in the set yet, right? So I don't think he was really,
which is a good
ready
mix-up
for it. Yeah. So yeah, I got out of pools, and then my first opponent in the second set of pools was a Roy player. I won that one 2-1. He was good, but I don't really mind that matchup, so I think that helped. And then actually it's kind of strange, but I also got eliminated by a Greninja player, just like Mike. So
interesting.
Yeah, a really good player from Michigan. I'd never played him before, but I knew who he was. So I was like, oh, okay, I'm probably not going to beat this guy, but it was a good run. So I went 4-2 overall, which I was happy with. Because I had played at Frostbite in 2020, and I went 2-2. And I was kind of fearful going into Big House that, at 2.5 years after my last like major, I was going to like do worse. And it would be like, well, that kind of sucks, because what does this mean? I've gotten worse the last 2 years. So it was kind of just nice that I did better than the last one I went to.
Yeah, that's great. I'd be really curious to see how Crawler and I do in our next. We've got to go to one. We wanted to do Big House. It just didn't work out, but well, we'd have to practice though, because if you're watching what's on screen right now, I've killed myself twice as playing. So good times. But yeah, that's a great takeaway. So Again, thank you, Mike. Thank you, Raymar, for taking the time. I know it's late for you guys, so we do appreciate you coming and hanging out and talking about Big House. And guys, again, if you want to be a part of the new premium Discord, head on over to n64josh.com/smashcord. I do want to note too that I'm offering coaching and match reviews. You can find the link in my bio on all of my socials if you're wanting just some like one-on-one coaching with Smash, like especially if you're a beginner intermediate player, I know I can definitely help you get you to that next level. So all of that info is available in the links in my bio, and I will put it in the show notes as well. So thanks again, guys, and we'll see you all in the next one. Bye, everybody.